Welcome to Drop the Puck. We're at Planet Ice Widnes for this Moralee matchup between the Widnes Wild and the Solway Sharks.
Yeah, Gary, this is one I've had circled on my calendar for a while, along with plenty of the other games. But no, to be fair, we've got top of the table Solway Sharks here, visiting Planet Ice Widnes against the Widnes Wild, currently sat in 7th. 4 games, in hand. Solway currently at the moment. Top of the table, I believe, on 20 points.
Yeah, 20 points. And of course, Widnes Wild have only got 6. It's a 14-point difference. But of course, they've still got a couple of games to catch up on them. But Widnes certainly need to start making their way up the table, don't they?
Well, they do. Well, so immediately, the Sharks coming tonight on the back end of a victory there. So they played the Stars last night and walked away 8-4. Yeah, and the previous game, obviously, was here on Drop the Puck, was the Wild versus the Stars, where they came out 4-1 winners. So last night we saw Peter Gapper, Steve Moore and Scott Henderson all brace goals each. Hepburn on an 83.3% save average.
Wow.
Not a bad night in between the pipes there. Okay. Obviously Wild, which you can catch that game on our YouTube channel. They played the Stars. So we saw Hager, Beach, Vlad Volkanovs and Stubley all get a plethora of goals there. But Walker was the story of that one. 97.3% save average that day.
Wow. Shut
out in the first 2 periods. I'm going to call it now, Gary. This is where the game is going to literally be won or lost today. And I know it's the old cliche, it's down to the netminders, but this literally is. You've got Callum Hepburn in between the pipes probably for Solway. The backup there, is Ben Simpson. Just watching the pair of them then in warm-up, so this is going to be ruthless. They were stopping everything coming at them. Well, so, when you've got the likes of Robinson, Volkanovs, Hager skating down on you, you normally, you'd fancy it going in. I don't think so this time.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be parking the bus. Both teams, hopefully not. We want to see goals. But I've got to say, though, Walker with those points, that's like NHL scores.
Yeah, there's 97, 98%. They're your NHL stats. That's what you'd see, the top flights, And Walker, I think, right now has proven himself this season that the lad can hang it with the big boys. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a test for him tonight, certainly. And who should we be watching out for, Ben?
Well, like I say, the netminders is going to be the one. We've seen Harrison Walker so far a few times this season. He's going to be backed up though by Jake Lowndes, which is a great one. I know, big fan of the show there, Phil Lowndes. He'll be happy with that one. But if Jake doesn't get on, that's not a bad thing either. But it's going to be one of them. I think we've got the likes of for Solway, Scott Henderson, Struden Tonar. Ross Murray, old names again. I haven't called in a while here on Drop the Puck.
Well, Henderson in that last game,
Henderson,
2 goals, 3 assists. I mean, there's a guy, he's almost like Jordan Henderson, if you like, of the Solway Sharks.
Yeah, no, so Henderson is certainly going to be one of the figureheads that today the Solway are going to attack with. Quite rightly, though, back on the other side of the puck, it's nice to see the return of Danny Hyde. Danny Hyde makes his appearance back for the Widnes Wild after that injury spell. And unfortunately, the Wild midweek did release an announcement. Kieran Beach has stepped away from the club for the time being. So good luck, Kieran, in the future for whatever you do, mate. But as it currently stands at the moment, there's going to be another shake-up of those lines.
Well, are they going to miss the likes of Beach, though?
It's hard to say. I mean, we're looking down the team sheet again today. Still no Gilbert. Still no Hadjek. These are players that are quite crucial playmakers in the midfield area, as we call it, the centre area.
Mid-ice, it was most noticeable. But, I mean, after that last game that we had on Drop the Puck, and it was a cup game against the Stars, and you could see that things were starting to gel. Losing somebody as important as Beach, is that going to be detrimental to him?
It will do, yeah. I think, we've talked about it in the past before. The Wild have got this telepathic hull line, and we call it the telepathic line because the guys have played together so many years. They know where each other's going to be on the ice. You've just removed one of the crucial segments of that, and that was obviously Rich Hager's wingman, Kieran Beach. And now he's got Robinson there with him. But it'll be interesting to see who steps up. I fancy Vlad's to take the slot.
Yeah, he's been showing good form of late, and obviously we know him from his time at Altrincham Aces. Had a lot of promise then. He's fitted in really, really well with this Widnes Wild setup this season. But interesting enough, I think it could be a really, really close game, and I'm hoping it is. But I'm expecting a lot of goals either way. It could go Widnes' way, but Solway have got a lot of pedigree there, and they've already got their foot in the door at the top of the table.
But at the same time, Solway played last night, and I've just had to travel today down from Solway. Could Buslegs play into it?
Well, of course, I like a lot of action in mine, so I'm kind of expecting some fisticuffs. You know, I love that.
Oh, you old penalty monsters, that makes a return, yeah. So we look at, quick down the line there, we've got Wild in 138 penalty minutes. The biggest notable mentions there are Tom Stubley, 33 minutes, and Jay Robinson at 31. The Sharks, though, for 11 games, have only incurred 159 penalty minutes. So Callum Boyd has got 17 to his name. And old fan favourite Richie Bentham makes a return with 15 to his name there. Bentham, he's going to be one of those guys you're going to have to keep an eye out for tonight as well.
Well, it all makes for a recipe for a great game. I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, I think it's going to be time to go and drop down to the ice. It's time to
drop the puck. Well, Gary, this Moralee League battle is certainly looking like it could be a tasty one. Solway riding high, 10 wins and that one loss, 20 points. And that's against the Widnes Wild, who are currently 7th after playing 7 games with only 3 wins and 4 losses.
Ben, I'm going to say it again, that's a big, big gap, you know.
It is, but we've not seen the Wild with much action so far in the league. Looking between the pipes, though, however, it does look like we're going to get the start netminders that we called earlier on. So that is going to be, for the Solway Sharks, number 30, Callum Hepburn. Hepburn looks like he's got the nod. On the other end, though, it's old faithful for the Widnes Wild at the moment, Harrison Walker. Walker has been a little bit of a brick wall of times late, and he's caused no end of troubles for the other team. Let's see if he can carry on his performance.
Well, the thing is, Widnes have been very heavily involved in cup games, whereas Solway have managed to establish themselves a good foothold at the top of the Moralee Conference. Can they maintain it by a win here tonight at the hands of Widnes Wild? But will the Wild have something to say about that, Ben?
Well, yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. We've already mentioned it, Gary. A number of key players still absent from that Wild roster.
Yeah.
Let's see how they can fare up against, it's fair to say, an in-form Solway Sharks at the moment.
Yeah, definitely in form.
So as Mr. Williams calls them to the centre of the ice, we get ready to drop the puck. So it looks like already Tonar, Henderson and Gapper are your forward line there. And we're underway, and it's going to be Charnock, Barlow and Haid. He's your starting line up there for the Wild, as immediately Wild look to play that puck backwards, trying to create some space. Barlow shut down in front of the Solway bench early as Tonar uses the boards. It's going to be chased down by Barlow, though. Barlow decides he's going to try and turn around, go head up ice. Sees a bit of space, feeds Charnock. Charnock's away, space in front of him. And it's a scramble back from BC, and it's early warning shots off the inside post. Another shot again from Murray. Comes wide. Wilcox going to let that run as he's pursued by Gapper.
Well, Wild looking to establish themselves quite early here, Ben.
Very much so, and I think that's exactly what they're going to need to do, Gary. And what formidable firepower here they've got. Barlow, Hyde and Charnock. As BC's just going to knock that around. Clear it for Henderson. Henderson gets his head up, tries to find, stretch pass and does, finds Gapper. Gapper skates inside the dot, shoots!
Oh.
Well, all the venom seems to be taken out of that by a little deflection there last second.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, picked up there very quickly by Murray, right edge of the blue.
Nobody there to pick up the rebound either.
No, back the other way, Hagger. Looks to find Robinson, and here we go. Who's filled the slot? It is Vlads. Vlads has filled the slot on that Wild line, like we called it. Murray, though, for the Sharks, back down, goes round the back of the net, looks for a man out in front. Great interception there by Jackson. Turns it out, tries to clear the zone. Henderson, a little bit of a battle near side with Vlads, and they've managed to clear it.
Well, very quick start from both teams here.
As big slap shot comes in from Bentham as he skated onto that. And that's going to be pursued by Johnson, Apologies there. As Christian Johnson just skates back, decides to play that down. Volkanovs receives that though. And that's Kemp, deciding to go a little bit D to D.
Oh, referee gets in the way.
Robinson. Kemp's got space in front of him. Can he make the break? Shut down there by Johnson on the line. Stubley tries to find Volkanovs. Volkanovs pinches in. Bentham's going to be there first, gets his stick on that, rings it round. Scooped up there by the Wild in neutral ice, put back in, off a skate. And Hepburn really out of his net there, but here comes number 7 now. And that's Craig, sorry. So Craig manages to find Crane on the boards, tides up with his man. In there is Hare as well. And the puck comes out on a Solway stick. Right onto the stick of Studley though. Studley tries to knock it forward, trying to find Joe Wyatt on the breakaway, but it's now fallen to Britton. Britton and Armstrong and White, your third line now for the Wild. As the puck once more put back in. Scooped up there by Armstrong. Very clever hockey there just to find Kemp. Bring it back, trying to create space. But they've intercepted, and there's an offside call there. Just as Scott Crane just skated over the blue a little bit too early there.
Well, 3 minutes gone in this first period, 16:59 remaining, and Ben, you can catch your breath after those first 3 minutes.
Yeah, long shifts all round there. Neither team wanting to give up any. So, face-off in the neutral zone. That's a bouncy puck, that one, but it's come out in favour of the Wild. Immediately, though, Sharks turn the possession round. Little bit of back and forth in no man's land. Beautiful play. High to Barlow. Barlow goes to go. Oh. High block aside. Puts a little bit too much on it. Murray. Wilcox dumps it into the corner. And that's going to be an icing call. But what an attempt there by Barlow. And lovely little play between Barlow and Hyde.
Yeah, just thought something was going to come off of that. But I'm going to say it now, though. The Solway netminder. Huge stature. There's a big frame in the middle of those pipes. It's going to be a very small gap if you're going to try and squeeze one in there.
Face off left-hand side of Walker in the Wild zone. 16:34 remaining in this first period. And quickly, well, the nice little set piece there from Solway. Tried to find Gapper, sat right in front of Walker. Great save by Walker, and here come the Wild now, trying to get something going. Charnock looking for space. Tarnar forces him against the boards. Recovers the puck and decides to dump that in. Great little inception from Hyde as he dumps that puck in. Hepburn out of his net. Bentham and Johnson. Little bit of defensive work there. Great passing, tape to tape by Solway as he create the opportunity. Skate down on net, but it's intercepted once more by the Wild. And here comes Robinson. Robinson looks to find Hagger. Hagger, shadowed by Tarnar. Gets the puck where it needed to be, but unfortunately for the Wild there, Christian Johnson again sat right on the stick of Danny Hyde. Just turn that play around, and once more on the quick break. Here they go again, it's the Solway Sharks, and what an effort that was.
Good defensive play there, scooped up that loose change.
I'll get a confirmation who that was. It looked like Lewis Houston who took the shot, but either way, back up the other end with the Wild. Britton manages to find Volkanovs. Volkanovs looking for the support in a teammate. He's got it. Under pressure from Beatty. Great work as Houston, is on the ice. So that would have been Lewis Houston who took the shot before. And here comes Houston, trying to create space. Manages to find Bowie. Bowie, well, that's a great block there from Jackson. Scooped away and cleared by Walker. And both teams at the moment testing the netminders.
Yeah, it's end-to-end stuff here at the moment.
5 minutes gone in this first period, and both teams straight out the traps in high gear. As Kerr's going to pick that up, and that's going to be an icing call. Well, Gary, Walker certainly keeping his head on a swivel, but right now, both teams not giving an inch.
Yeah, it's in a game when it's as tight as this, Ben, it's a silly mistake. It's going to cost somebody.
So 14:37 on the clock. Remaining in this first period still. Wild 0, Sharks 0. Face off left-hand side of Walker. Picked up by the Sharks. As they ring that round once more. Craig managing to use the boards, gets it into the corner. Wild get a stick on that and turn it back round. Picked up once more there by Hare. Hare puts it behind the net. Gets the puck back. Tries to drive around the back of the net. Under pressure from Stubley. Into the corner once more. Britton gets his stick on it. Tries to clear it back around. Great play on the boards there by Armstrong. And they've managed to clear it out. And Armstrong's going to chase that down, but Bentham comfortably gets there first. Quick line change for Widnes. Solway, yep, got to go for a quick one as well. Bentham winds up, takes a big one. Tries to catch Walker napping. Luckily for the Wild, Walker wide awake. And Hyde's just going to try and chase down Thompson for that one as we get another icing call.
Yeah, I think Wild just need to be a little bit more careful and precise with those stretch passes there. The tape-to-tape stuff's got to be clinical against a team like Solway.
Face off back down into the Widnes zone will be left-hand side of Harrison Walker. And that looks like it's going to be Barlow and Henderson going for that. So Barlow and Henderson on the dot for the draw. Comes out on a Wild stick as they try and clear the zone. Henderson was holding that line there, trying to prevent it being cleared, but they've managed to put it back in. Braley does well to get his stick on that. Finds Thompson. Thompson winds up. And the clever play there by Barlow to trail his stick. Trying to find Barlow on the breakaway. There's a call for a trip. They're going to give the icing instead. Well, there was cries. Oh, it's interference. Mr. Williams has given the interference call. Wow. So Beattie finds himself going in the box, and with 13-11 remaining in this first period, Wild go on the power play.
Yeah, this is the advantage that the Wild need in this first period, almost midway through. It's been end to end. Can the Wild capitalise, being a man up, or can Solway do the penalty kill?
So face-off will be on the right-hand side of Hepburn. Yeah, and it's Kel Beattie who's on the bench for two. And here come the Wild with Volkanovs. Volkanovs tries to get round Kerr. Bentham's there, shadows him all the way round. Great drop pass there for Britton. Oh, rubbed out the play completely by Bentham.
Pinned against the boards.
And that is the clinical knowledge of Rich Bentham. He's had a lot of time around the rinks in the UK scene. But here comes Charnock. Charnock drops it for Robinson. Picks it up on the back there is Volkanovs. Volkanovs laces the blue line for Stubley. Back to Volkanovs. Will he wind up? No, he's trying to skate it in.
Oh.
Miscommunication. Puck leaves the zone. A Wild forced to reset and go again. Stubley, quick recovery. Takes it in. Drops it for Robinson, who just gingerly puts it towards net. Looking for a stick. Nobody there. Hager now on the ice for the Wild. And this passing between the Wild right now is costing them precious seconds. Stubley finds Volkanovs once more. What will Volkanovs do? Inside the dot, tries to find Britton. Britton tried to guide that in, got too much of it, puts it into the corner. 44 seconds now remain on the power play. Hager leaves the puck behind. Quick recovery there to find Robinson, who's had to dump that in. Quick line change there by the Wild as Barlow chases down his man into the corner. Taking the time. Wilcox finds Briley. Briley put that puck up. It's gone up and on. What a save there by Hepburn. Little chip up.
Yeah, nice little chip shot there that I think Ronaldo would have been impressed with.
24 seconds remains on the power play. 11:35 in the period.
Well, 24 seconds remaining for Widnes to try and get anything from this power play.
Mr. Williams just having a quick word there with Hepburn. So face-off left-hand side of Hepburn in the Solway zone. Face-off won by Hager. First time shot! Oh. And the one-timer coming from Wilcox. Head gets round the net. Hager puts it back in. Out in front. Oh. Well, Stubley. Oh, Barlow, in fact, sorry. Put his stick on that. Backhanded. Tried to put it in. 5 seconds remains on the power play. 9 seconds. Finds the gap with a second on the clock on the power play.
Well, I must say, the smallest of gaps, he wins the battle on the boards, it comes out, and he slots in the smallest of gaps to give the Wild the lead. It's now Widnes Wild 1, Solway Sharks 0.
Well, Gary, that was... he must have buttered that biscuit up there and squeaked that in.
Tell you what, it must have been on a diet because it squeezed in the smallest of gaps. But it's enough to give the Wild what they needed, and they got something from that power play.
Face-off gets action back under the way, and I know Rich Hagger will be made up with that because special teams is something they have been working on in training. As immediately we got an icing call.
Thing is though, Ben, these two teams already know each other previously to coming into this league season where they played in the Cups, in the streaming series that we covered. So they know what they're about.
Now Solway in possession, behind the Wild net. Look to play it out, find Bentham. He takes a shot looking for the deflection out in front there was Tonal, but here come the Wild trying to break away. Lovely little lob pass. Dug out there by Barlow as they scraped it over. Charnock regained possession, looks for support, finds it in Stubley, puts it round. High just behind the net, puts it out in front. Oh! And, well, the defenseman there of Solway had to react quickly to that one.
Yeah, just remembered it wasn't Solway that they played, was it? It was obviously Sheffield Scimitars. But my mistake, sorry. But nevertheless, this Moralee side, Wild finding these teams a lot more stronger than they did last time. But they're giving a good account of themselves so far with a 1-0 lead. Wild
on a face-off here. Just look like they're setting something up. They are. It's a one-timer for Robinson. You can tell there has literally dropped back into the quarterback role right behind the face-off of Hagger.
Well, Hepburn's a huge guy and those legs almost fill the goal on their own, so it's hard to squeeze the puck in there.
Bentham plays the puck off the board for Bowie. Bowie into the cul-de-sac, decides to go back to Bentham. Little bit of ones and twos as they knock that forward. Knocked on there by Houston once more. Chased into the corner. Robinson chases down Murray. Hagger gets his stick in there. Tried to clear the zone. Bowie's picked that up inside the blue. Takes a shot. Great leg pad save there from Walker.
And again, notice that there was a Solway player right in front of Walker then.
And between Hagger and Volkanovs, they've dragged it into the Solway zone. And that's a big check there from Johnson as he rides Volkanovs into the boards. Still alive with Wilcox though. And have managed to clear that puck down. Hagger tries the poke check on Houston. Manages to do so. Dumped back in. Hepburn out of his net's going to clear that. Quick line change for Widnes. Great little bit of skill there by the Solway defensive man. And Beattie now atoning for his sins earlier that ultimately cost his side a goal.
Yeah, the thing is, Ben, the longer that the puck is up on the Solway end of the ice, the better for the Wild.
Hit there on Kemp as he just fell awkwardly. Good to see straight back up though. And that's going to be offside as the puck goes out of play.
Yeah, you've got to think, even though it's only a 1-0 lead so far, and it's still only 8 minutes 59 remaining in this first period, the less Solway are on the puck, the better for the Wild. They need to keep control of the puck.
Face off in the neutral zone due to puck going out of play. And Kerr decides he's going to drop that back. Put forward by Bentham for Crane. Intercepted by Britton to Kemp. Kemp just manages to get over to Briley, but under pressure. Back in possession with Kemp. 8 minutes 37 remain. Still 1-0 for the Wild. Bentham once more puts that puck forward for Craig. Craig under pressure. Wyatt's got in there though with the space. Can't take the puck from Crane. Armstrong, little bit of a hit there from Bentham as he stepped up onto the blue. And there's going to be a call there by Mr. Bentham, the referee. And that is going to be offside. .8:15 remaining in this first period. Puck down in the Solway zone, right hand side of Hepburn. Good draw in there for the Sharks. as they look to break through neutral zone. Jackson steps up though, puts the body on, causes the puck to be turned over. Bad pass there allows Kerr in. Haid goes down. Still manages to get the puck onto the Wild net, however. And here comes Barlow. Looks inside, and you can see there Charnock was skating in as he put it right through the slot in the danger zone. Bentham, though, doesn't seem to be off the ice at all. Barlow just decides to glove that puck down. Looking for that pass out in front there was Gapper. Can't quite get it, and the puck's come up and down into the neutral zone once more. Still a little bit scrappy here. Neither team actually settled down. Tonar and Jackson on the boards, 2 captains collide. Henderson's there for support for Struan. Charnock. And you'd right across the face of the goal there. Great effort for Solway as Hyde tries to stop the puck getting played back in. Can't. Solway on the attack, another shot, it's in! Scott Henderson opens the account for the Solway Sharks.
Well, bit scrappy as we were saying, but they managed to just poke one in towards the goal in the blue paint area, and they managed to flick it over the top of Walker, and it's tied things up here now. It's Widnes Wild 1, Solway Sharks 1.
Well, dare I say, Gary, we talked about him pre-game. Scott Henderson. He's certainly going to be one to keep an eye on. We've got 6:58 remaining in this first period. It's now Widnes 1, Solway 1. As we head back to the central dot. Puck drops once more between Houston and Haggart and goes straight onto the Solway stick. As they look to break again, immediately Volkanov's different plans, tries to turn that round. Bowie can't reel that in. Gets enough on it for Haggart. Haggart and Volkanov's back up the ice. Volkanov's lets someone rip. What a bit of venom that had in it. Sails over the crossbar, keeps in play though. Robinson gets it back to Volkanov's, trying to find Haggart on the back door. Wall of black shirts in the way. Back up the other way. Here we go. Shot in from Murray. Great little blocker save there from Walker. Keeps the Wild in the game. And they've cleared the zone. 6:15 now remaining in this first period.
Well, it's end to end, Ben. And the pace at this at, somebody's going to tire quickly.
Will it be the well-travelled Solway Sharks? Bear in mind, Solway, as we said in the introduction, did play last night against Billingham. As Murray dumps that puck in once more. Jack Murray for the Wild. Oh, and there's going to be a call here, and that's a slashing call. It's going to be assessed to the Solway Sharks, and that looks like it's Ross Murray, and it is. Ross Murray goes to the box with 5:50 on the clock in the first period. The Wild go back on the power play.
Yeah, so Solway have a player riding the pine for the next 2 minutes. Can the Wild capitalise again?
Well, straight away, the power play unit out there. Stubley, Volkanovs, Britton, Robinson, and Charnock. Shot comes in from Volkanovs. He looked like he was going to pass that off and lets the shot go. Gets back there, though, to stop Kieran Hare breaking away on that. And Hare does enough to dump that in. He's going to chase it down, but Robinson's there comfortably to pick that up for the Wild. Drops that puck back, and the Wild look to reset once more. 1:33 now on the power play. There's Charnock. Big loop to try and get some speed. There it is, there's the pass. Takes it into the zone. Takes a shot, oh look for the tight angled shot. It's been saved by Hepburn. Behind the net. Battle between Hare and Volkanovs. Shot comes back in from Stubley. Robinson keeps the play alive. Back in once more by Volkanovs into the glove of Hepburn. And what a good little shift there by the power play unit for the Wild. Yeah, 1:07 remaining on the power play.
We know the speed of these Wild players, and they can counter attack really quickly. So Solway have got to have their head on a swivel here, but nevertheless, the battle seems to be mid-ice at the moment.
And that's obviously where we know the Wild are desperately lacking that support at the moment from Hadjek, from Gilbert.
But although they seem to be doing okay at the moment, though. How long will that last?
Face-off will be right-hand side of Hepburn. 107 on the power play. 4:57 in the period. And that's going to be redone. So as we go back to the dot, the officials just stamping their authority on this game. Mr. Hesselwood drops that puck. Goes in favour of the Solway Sharks. Kept in the zone by Stubley. Uses the boards, manages to find Hyde and Barlow. Under pressure from Johnson. Come out with the puck though, back to Stubley at the point. Goes back to Barlow. Backhands to Hyde. Taking off the puck there by Johnson once more. Cleared the zone. And they see an opportunity, Hagger and Barlow. But, well, great stick block there by Johnson. Prevents the pass coming across from Hagger, who takes a shot.
Oh!
Well, flash of the glove there by Hepburn denies Rich Hagger as he tried to go top shelf glove side.
Yeah, you thought it was going to go in there, but Hepburn manages to claw that away. And the score still remains here at Planetised Widnes with 4:15 remaining in its first period. Widnes Wild 1, Solway Sharks 1.
Face off to the left of Hepburn now. 25 seconds remain on the power play. And again, the officials not happy with the face-off. Charnock wins the draw. Briley keeps it alive. Charnock with the puck. Find Robinson. Backdoors Volkanovs. What a save, Hepburn.
Well,
between Charnock, Robinson and Volkanovs, what a play that was. They sat Hepburn all the way down.
but he spread himself out, starfish style, manages to cover that puck up, stops it from going in the net.
Well, it's chewed some time up on that clock. They now only have 15 seconds on the man advantage. 4:05 in the period. And they've let it run out the zone. Briley puts that back in for Volkanovs. Volkanovs heads up the ice, got space. Takes a shot, looking for the 5-hole. Slammed shut by Hepburn. Robinson, miscommunication, tries to pass that back. Murray back on the ice as we go back to 5-on-5. And here comes Charnock. Deflected off a stick. Volkanovs pursues Kerr. Bentham's got to head up, looking for man out in front. Finds Houston. Houston turns up ice. Gets that over to Tonard. Tonard takes a shot down the throat of Walker. It's an easy save for Harrison with 3:27 remaining in this first period.
Well, you can't fault Widnes for trying in that power play. Couple of opportunities, but nevertheless, Solway and Hepburn, most notably, stopping them on every occasion, and it still remains here. Widnes Wild 1, Solway Sharks 1.
Puck down in the Widnes defensive zone, the left-hand side of Walker. 3:27. And Solway looking to wrap around with Tonard, and there's been a call, and that's going to be a slashing call. Who's this going to be assessed on? It's going to be on the Wild, and that's Tom Jackson. Jackson skates to the box, and just like that, the advantage is handed over to the Solway team.
Well, be interesting to see whether Widnes can ride this out with a penalty kill, or whether Solway will punish them and take a lead here going into this final 3 minutes of the first period.
Well, interestingly, Bentham there just clearing out all the ice right in front of his spot at the point. Could we possibly see a one-timer from Bentham as he sits in that position right behind Henderson? Draw comes in, Bentham picks it up at the point, decides he's going to play it off the boards instead as he looks to work it round. Bentham at the top of the blue, puck behind the goal. Off Kerr's leg, and here comes Charnock on the breakaway. Charnock and Bentham. Bentham spreads himself wide, forces Charnock the long way, does well. But here come the Sharks back the other way. Henderson dumps that in behind the net. Wild Do well to try and clear it, only make it as far as the point once more. Kept alive by the Sharks. Scott Henderson looks to play that pass in, does so, looks to go tight!
Oh.
And Walker just gets enough on that to turn it round. 1:15 remains on the power play. Bentham trying to get something going quickly as Gapper picks that up on the blue. Into the corner. Back to Gapper.
Ooh, looked like he was winding that up then.
Did, and just good rotation and cycling. Great save there by Walker once more. And he's got Tonar positioned out in front of him most of this time, trying to act the screen. Here comes Solway again once more, down the left-hand side. 45 seconds on the power play. Drop that back to Kerr. Takes the shot from the blue line right into the glove of Walker. 38 seconds remain on the power play.
Solway circling round, looking for that opening and the opportunity to try and take the lead here.
And so far, Walker seems to have an answer for everything. .158 left in the first period. 38 seconds on a man advantage. Barlow and Bowie going for the draw. Comes out onto a wild stick. Immediately dispossessed though. Johnson for the Solway Sharks. Back to Bowie. Bowie looks like he's going to wind up. Lets the puck go instead. For a pass back in. On net into the glove of Walker once more. Easy save for Harrison.
27 seconds remaining on the penalty. 1:47 remaining on the clock for this first period. The score still remains. Widnes Wild 1, Solway Sharks 1.
The old 2-minute drill at the moment for the Wild as they try and hold out here. Good push from the face-off there. Another shot comes in. Can they withstand the pressure for the extra 20 seconds? Cleared away by Wilcox, held up on the boards. Bowie's going to pick that up. Will he take the shot? No. Leaves it for Houston. Well, Houston goes with a big wrist shot. Goes low with it though, and it's off the leg pads of Walker. 5 seconds on the man advantage. You can hear there Hepburn letting them know. Back to full strength of the Widnes Wild as the PK unit do the job. They survive that one, and here comes Vlad Volkanovs. Volkanovs turns on the jet, goes down that left side, leaves one man, slams on, takes a shot into Hepburn. Well, 107 and Vlad showing the one-man show again.
Yeah, great solo effort there from Vlads, and unfortunately nothing come of it. But again, putting that Solway net under pressure. The Solway defence have got to be alert to every time Vlad gets a puck.
Face-off going to be down in the Wild zone, right-hand side of Hepburn. Solway come away with the draw win there. Craig looks to pass that forward, only find Hagger who turns it back round. Passing from Charnock to Robinson, and there's going to be an offside call there. And Rich Bentham arguing with the referee. It doesn't end well, Rich. Just does. It looks like it's going to be a high stick call.
Well, he's standing arguing with Mr. Williams.
Well, we'll see what the official call is here. He's skating over to the Solway bench. And he seems to be having a word with the manager there of Solway.
Well, got to be careful when you argue with the official. You run the risk of being removed from the ice. So they're sending. Oh. They're sending another player.
Right, okay. So that's a high stick call. Assessed to Crane for 2 minutes. So, no sooner have they come off the power play, the Sharks now find themselves on the other end on the penalty kill.
Well, there's less than a minute remaining, so can the Wild slot one home?
And interestingly, Robinson's also being sent. They're saying that Hagger was out on the ice at the time of the incident. He must return to the ice. So interestingly, Britton, Hagger, Charnock, Volkanovs, and Stubley's your only D-man. Here come the Wild as they look to set up. Stubley at the point. Takes a shot, redirect from Britain. Just sails wide. Volkanov's under pressure from Kerr. Puck tied up on the boards. Stubley gets it at the point. Goes to take the shot. Bowie throws himself at the puck. Blades first. Great little deflection there by Murray. Turns that away. Final 20 seconds now of this period. And this could be that the Wild start the second period on the man advantage. They've got it over to Britain. Britain hastily puts that round the boards for Volkanovs. Volkanovs back to Charnock. Charnock's going to wind one. In these final seconds, takes a shot into the chest of Hepburn with... Oh! And Volkanovs has been dragged down to the ice there by one of the Solway players. 4.7 seconds shows on the clock.
Well, don't know what happened there, but a player jumps from behind. Does it look like it's Bentham?
Well, Rich Bentham being sent to the box now.
Yeah, Bentham jumped.
And Volkanovs
on the back of Volkanovs.
Well, he's skating to the bench as well, or to the box. So it looks like, could it be coincidental, minors?
A bit strange that, but...
Well, no, 2 minutes on the board for Bentham.
Our replay certainly showed that that Bentham jumped on the back of Volkanovs, but he's now sitting in the penalty box as well. So it'd be interesting to see what they called there.
Well, with 4.7 seconds.
So it looks like it's probably been a cross-checking call.
4.7 seconds on the clock.
Oh.
It's going to be, oh no, have they waved them off coincidentals?
Yep. Mr. Williams has waved them as coincidentals. So
we've got ourselves,
4.7 seconds remaining in this first period, and it's getting lively. So it's now 5-on-4 in favour of the Wild. And as you rightly said before, Ben, the Wild will start the second period with a man advantage.
Puck drops, immediately won by Solway to clear the zone. And that's pretty much going to be your buzzer run out there. Well, fireworks towards the end of that first period. Can the Wild keep that spark alive as they go into the second with the man advantage?
It'll be interesting, certainly. I like it lively, but we'll have to catch the action after this short break.
Brakes and Sons sponsor Drop the Puck.
Well, after that much needed break for myself, to catch my breath, we resume action on the second period shortly as we recap that we have Crane and Bentham in the box for the Sharks and Volkanovs in the box for the Wild. 107 on the power play for the Wild as we get underway. Man advantage, can they open the second period with a goal? It'll be the dream start for them. And here we go with Charnock as he makes his way through neutral ice. Charnock drops that back to Robinson. Robinson back to Charnock in the corner. Looks for Hagger at the point. It's off the boards, fighting away with the Solway player. And that is going to be, looks like Henderson. As he try and turn it back round. 40 seconds now on the power play. Digging away there. Solway forcing the clock to run on the Wild's opportunity. They've managed to get the puck back. Charnock at the blue line, lets one rip, and they get second bite of the cherry, right into the glove of Hepburn. And it's an okay start, Gary, but it's not the pace we saw them come out on the first.
No, a little bit off there, but of course it was non-stop, definitely in top gear as they were all in that first period. Second gear in this second period by the looks of it. But either way, it'd be interesting to see what was said in the dressing room.
It would. There's 26 seconds left on the power play, ticks away. Charnock looks to go around the back of the net, slams the brakes on, turns back round. Charnock and Britton, little communication there. Stubley decides he's going to skate in, walks the line, finds Hagger at the point. Hagger looks like he's going to wind up. Still Hagger, cuts it back inside, and they're working the puck around well. Stubley with the shot through traffic and to no avail. 3 seconds remains on the power play. 2-1. Trapdoor opens and Crane returns back to the ice. It's now 5-on-5 and it's goal!
Oh!
Stubley from the point! And it's a great start to the second period for the Wild.
So just as they open the gate to make it 5-on-5, Stubley from the point slots it all the way into the back of the net and extends the lead here for Widnes Wild. It's now Widnes Wild 2, Solway Sharks 1.
Well, that'll give them the confidence, Gary.
Yeah,
Fire in the
will.
belly.
It's that mid-ice battle that whoever gets control of that is going to dominate the game. At the moment, it's tilting in favour of Widnes. But there's still a lot of hockey to play yet.
So we've got Wyatt, Barlow and Charnock out for the Wild. Tonar, Henderson. And that looks like Hare out for the Sharks. As here comes Henderson down this right-hand wing. Looks to skate inside, seen all the way around by Wilcox. Just creates a little bit of an opportunity. Charnock, stick check there. Opens the door for Wilcox. Wilcox finds Barlow. Barlow's got Wyatt in support. Breaks the zone, takes it into the corner under pressure of Johnson. Barlow's there for support once more though. Comes out with it, looks to get out in front to Charnock. And Sharks managed to clear that away. Great pressure from Solway as they take it to 3-on-2. Looking for the quick pass round the back of the net there. Wilcox gets a stick in the way. Jack Murray, clever play to smack that off the boards behind the net. Yeah, finds the opening, creates a space.
Yeah, Walker was hugging that near post, expecting the wraparound, but we seem to have a penalty, do we?
Well, I'll see now. That looked like it was going to be assessed on Murray, but I think it's an offside call. Either way, notably, Gary, both Bentham and Volkanovs have now exited the boxes.
Well, I'm sure we haven't
He's saying number
seen
7.
or heard the last of that.
And there does appear to be okay. We're just waiting for the confirmation here now. So it looks like it could be Andrew Craighead in the box.
Well,
Mr. Hesselwood and Mr. Williams just conferring.
yeah. Either way,
And here he comes.
they're leading
So
somebody.
it is Andrew Craig. And it's a too many men call.
Well, these officials are playing it right to the letter at the moment. And
Hepburn and Robinson just having a few quiet words off camera. Interesting.
Well, the officials just explaining what the ruling was. And
So the too many men call, yeah, as the trapdoor opened on the bench there of the Solway Sharks side, the puck was played over that way. There was a player exiting the ice as one was entering. Unfortunately, the player exiting the ice made contact with the puck, which meant he was involved in the play. Therefore, we got the too many men call.
And clearly it's Mr. Williams stamping his authority on this game, making sure that both teams and both coaches are aware of what's going to be going on.
So face-off will be down in the Solway defensive zone. Face-off spotted up to be right-hand side of Hepburn. 2 minutes on the power play clock for the Widnes Wild. And we're back underway. Walker does well to get the puck around Houston. And Stubley manages to find Volkanovs down that wing. Volkanovs takes a shot, sails across the face of the goal. Charnock comfortably back to pick that puck up. As we have that same power play unit that started that last set of play before we ended the first period.
I'm beginning to think, Ben, that the Wild goal and the added bonus of a penalty against the Sharks now seems to have rattled the cage a little bit.
Volkanovs holds up on the blue line at the point. Decides to leave that go to the corner. Stubley picks that up at the point once more, under pressure from the Sharks. Does well to feed that around to Robinson. Volkanovs back, looks out in front. Stabbing in the pickle there was Britain. But that's going to be blown dead with 1:03 on the power play. And a great opportunity. But you are right, Gary. The quick goal and the penalty seem to have got under the skin of the Sharks quite early on here. They're not as settled, it's fair to say, as they seem to have been in the first period. Although both teams still seem like they're in the feeling out period as well.
Yeah, what the Wild have got to hope is that the Sharks don't go nom-nom.
Well, as long as there's no blood in the water. Hagger looks to take the shot early off the skate to Henderson. Hyde manages to kick that back to Briley. Briley gets back to Dan Hyde. Hyde holds the puck up once more, tries to get it to Hagger. Wilcox is going to be there to cushion that one up. Danny Hyde again, out to Hagger. Well, what a goal! And that's Barlow by the look of it, it is. What a play.
The puck is, they're feeding it round, looking, it's fed in, and Barlow just slots it over the top of Hepburn. And as calm as you like, the Widnes Wild extend their lead now. It's now Widnes Wild 3, Solway Sharks 1.
Well, it's interesting there. And it certainly opened it all up here, as you just see Mr. Williams talking to the bench here, comparing the goals. So, we're going back to centralisation. Mr. Hesselwood just having a quick word with Hepburn. And the puck seems to be missing.
I think before, on a face-off down the Solway end, before Charnock was complaining to the official because the puck got dropped before he was even set.
Well, you got to be set, and we are now.
You got to be ready.
Puck drops, and we're back underway after that Widnes third goal, and immediately under pressure, Wilcox and Charnock. Well, here comes Murray to the Wild. Murray knocks that forward for Hyde, and Hyde managed to find Charnock. Hyde out in front of the Solway bench again. Plenty of time, calmly finds Wilcox. Wilcox off the board. BT just rubs Charnock out the play there. It's going to be Johnson who picks that puck up. Chased down by Hyde. Little mistake there is allowed. Barlow to find Hyde, and they're chasing that puck near side boards now. Off the hard boards. Wilcox keeps the play alive for Widnes. He's managed to find Hyde skating in the blue. Blue. Oh, he's looking for support there. Blue line shot comes in from Charnock. He snapped his stick. And Henderson's going to turn back up the other way and try and find Tonar. He does. Great poke check there by Jackson. Disrupts the play. Once more, Wild looking to take a firm grip of this game now. But the Solway Sharks skating in. Bentham was on the back door wide open there. Great defensive unit again. Oh!
He missed
what another effort. Tonar there.
Oh, how did he miss that?
Shot comes in from Bentham looking to break away. And that's Robinson now pursuing down Thompson.
Well, it's woken up Solway this now.
Here comes Bentham once more. Shot, well, more of a direct pass onto net. And Wild looking to turn it back, and it is literally end to end.
Oh, little early that pass from Robinson to Hadjek there. To Volkanovs.
It's dispossessed by Gapper. Gapper trying to find a man. Clears the zone there, and Wyatt's away to the races. Kerr gets the pass from his netminder. Off the skates of Volkanovs there, turn it back round. It's allowed in. Britain backhand, looks to go 5-hole. And the stick of Charnock still on the ice there, now interfering with play. But them's the rules.
Them's the rules.
Them's the tie up there, Houston. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Houston takes the shot, puts it high blocker side up and over to the net. And with that little bout of play there, everyone can catch their breath.
Certainly you need to, Ben, because that was end-to-end non-stop action, and it's the kind of thing we like here on Drop the Puck. But as the time is currently 14:21 remaining in this second period, it's certainly getting very tasty. Ben salivating on the corner of the table here.
I'll just pass the napkin.
It's now Widnes Wild 3, Solway Sharks 1.
But Gary, only 5 minutes of the second period have been played. There is still plenty of game time left, and there is plenty of life in this game.
Well, and the blue touch paper has certainly been lit in this
Shot
one.
comes in, and Walker, flash of the leather there, denies the Solway attempt.
And we all like the splash of leather.
So we're going to get another face-off. 14:09 remaining in the second period. Face-off will be to the right-hand side of Walker. Half the players weren't even set them when the puck was dropped. And here come Widnes on the breakaway. Widnes, can he get there? Wyatt does for Widnes. Kerr turns that round. Britton keeps the play alive at the blue. Dumped in once more, and the offensive pressure from Widnes piling on.
Well, maybe they're not set, Ben, and this is maybe something the officials have picked up on. They're not gonna wait.
Great pass there from Solway, but well read by Brearley of the Wild. And Solway looking to clear through this no-man's zone. Britton under pressure from Houston and Murray. Jackson pushes that over. Bowie trying to get round Barlow, manages to find that pass. Oh. Houston brought down from Brierley, gets back up, carries the play on, Crane's there for support. Trying to find a man in the middle, great poke check by Charnock, and we've got a tripping call. And that looks to be on. Is it Brierley or Wilcox? Which one of you boys? There it is, it's on Brierley.
Well,
So Brierley goes to the box.
I'm going to just mention, Ben, as it is coming up to the end of November, how all the Widnes Wild players are sporting a very distinguishing tash these days.
Yes, nice Movember tash. All in need of charity, of course.
They've still got a long way to go to catch me, though.
13-10 remaining in this second period. And already 10 seconds of this power play gone. Brierley of the Wild assessed for tripping. And can Solway now get something out of this? Great shot on it, and there it is. That looks to be from Bowie.
Yeah, picked up the scraps as it bounces in front of Walker. It's fed in. Walker just tries to grab at it, but it looks like Bowie's just stabbed it into the back of the net, and now, was it? Yeah, so it's now Widnes Wild 3, Solway Sharks 2.
Well, it has blown this game wide open, Gary. We said plenty of life left in it. Back to the centre ice. Mr. Hesselwood drops that puck, and away we go again.
1 goal in it again.
5-goal game, though. Volkanov's immediately shut out of that play there by Murray. And have Solway got wise to the high man of Vlad Volkanov's.
Yeah, it
Here
seems
comes Houston.
I've just noticed Benton giving him a little nudge there.
Volkanov's again finds Hager. His support is Stubley. Stubley backdoor, looks to find Hager with the 1-2. Great work there and great play. Can Jackson get over there and stop Gapper? He's managed to do so. Gapper back on the puck though. Behind the net, looks for a man out front. Well, shot sails wide. On the right-hand side of Walker. And dare I say, do the Sharks smell the blood in the water now?
Quite possible.
Seems to have picked up pace once more. Here comes Bentham.
Widnes has just got to keep their head on a swivel and
Looks to take the shot, and Houston has his shot dampened completely down there. Puck off the boards. Tries to ring it round. He's got Murray in support. Drops it back to Murray. Murray back round to Gapper. Great rotation here from the Solway Sharks. Shot comes in off the blocker. Hager's going to be there. Looks up ice. Who's he got? Volkanov's on the high. There's the stretch pass. Volkanov's has gone into the corner. Comfortably picks that up. As Johnson gets there as well at the same time. Just beats out Volkanov's to that. Bentham holding up that puck as they look to set something up now, Solway. Charnock just shown, trying to get Bentham to commit. Crane, that's going to be Briley on another tripping call. Clear as day. Crane looked to skate inside and Briley just puts his stick right across the legs of Crane.
Well, the bench is still warm there, so back you go.
No doubt Walker's got to be ready for what comes next.
Yeah, the ice is starting to tilt in favour of Solway. They're winning a lot more of the battles.
11-12 remaining in this period, almost at the halfway mark. Those last 5 minutes seem to have flown as we're off on the power play for the Sharks. Great shot in and good clearance there by Barlow down onto the net. Hepburn out of his net. Tonar is there comfortably, picks the puck up, looks to head back up ice, decides to drop that back once more for Kerr. Kerr, plenty of space in front of him, uses his legs, gets into the corner, gains his own. Murray and Charnock try and shut the door. Great little play there by Solway to move the puck around. Tonar lets one rip. And again, it's into the glove of Walker.
Yeah, Walker's got safe hands when he's got a clear view of it. But when it's bouncing around in front of him, he's got to be a bit more sure. Because those Solway Shark players are going to stab it home.
Henderson and Britton in for the tie-up. Comes out the Solway favour. Another shot comes in, it's deflected out. Volkanovs tries to clear the zone. Backed up there by another Wild player as they managed to do so. That was Murray who's helped him clear the trouble there. 1:08 now remaining on the power play. The Solway turn and face again. Try and put that puck in front of Henderson. Henderson, great kick save there by Walker. And he's put the puck right the way through into the neutral zone now, forcing Solway out and looking to reset. Wilcox has Gapper in front of him, supported by Britton. Gapper, which way will he go? Decides to go into the corner. Peter Gapper, still moving this puck around very quickly. Well, what an absolute textbook play there from Solway.
Well, that was like watching pinball there as they calmly tape-to-tape passing backwards and forth, and they slot it past Walker lying on the floor. He's now tied things up here. It's Widnes Wild 3, Solway Sharks 3.
And Bowie, that man again on the board. What a play though, what an absolute, that's how you run a power play. Move the puck, keep them guessing. When you see the opening, take the opportunity.
Yeah, it's well played.
Now, all tied, just over the halfway point in the second period. Exactly half the game left.
It's as you were.
Which way is this game going to swing? It's interesting. As Houston looks to feed that across, he's under pressure from Stubley once more. Drops that around for Hare. Shot comes on. Walker again. Walker tries to jump on that. Murray ends up on the ice.
Yeah,
the officials are happy with the way it's all gone down.
Yeah, no afters. I think the defence were just very quick to react to that.
And it is. It might be cold outside, Gary, but it's heating up in here. I can tell you that much.
Don't know about that, you know.
Houston and Haggart in for the draw. Wild come out in possession. Sharks dispossess of his Bentham. Puts it into the danger zone there, off the skate to Haggart. And Wild looking to break away. Volkanovs. Well, he couldn't quite gain the zone. Haggart's put the puck in. Behind his own net now. Sharks.
And the Wild need to get a grip of this. Oh, mid-ice.
Hare takes his shot. It comes off the blocker of Walker. Comes back out onto his stick. And Solway looking once more to set up. As they've got great rotation. Johnson takes a shot. Goes up high over the net. Wild now desperately trying to clear the zone. Haggar's out there. Volkanovs is out there. Robinson. Jackson. Stubley. You can just see Rich Haggart taking his time. Doesn't want to give up any more penalties. And they've done it. They've cleared the puck out. 8:09 now remaining. And what a long shift it was for those lads there. That's a quick line change. Well deserved.
Oops.
We've got equipment on the ice. Just in front of the half-boards on the Wild side. Barlow manages to stop that puck coming into the zone. Johnson manages to gain that. Robinson just wildly swings at that there. Shot in once more down the throat of Walker. And Barlow just having a few words there.
Well, Widnes need to start getting a grip and taking a bit more control. And it's like we've always said, Ben, they need to keep the puck a lot more, keep Solway off it and stop them from putting things together.
Barlow and Henderson. Great draw in there by Barlow for the Wild. Charnock gives it up. Kerr gets a shot on right down the throat of Walker once more. And Harrison Walker, well, that's going to build him some confidence, Gary, after the 2 goals, quick succession before.
Yeah. Well, 7:38 remaining in this second period. And still plenty of time to get more goals.
So Barlow and Hare in for the draw now. And it's immediately won by Charnock as he pokes that through, trying to get round Kerr into the corner. Kerr gets a poke check on. Charnock forced to dump it round, picked up by Barlow in the corner one more time. Again, Wild trying to get some rotation going now. Hyde, looking what he can do with that. Decides to put it towards net, but it's gone wide off the boards. And now picked up Charnock in the corner. That's going to be up and out of play, and that's going to be end of the play there.
So a quick line change by both sides. We get ready to face off to the right of Hepburn in the Solway net. 7:07 remaining.
Face off to the right hand side of Hepburn in the Sharks defensive zone. Face off won by the Wild, but immediately forced out. Bowie got Houston support.
Whoa.
Houston takes a shot and it runs high and wide of the glove side of Walker. Kemp now out there starting to throw his body around a bit more on Bowie and Houston. Britton tried to get the poke check in. Bentham at the point. Off the shoulder of Walker. And Solway certainly looking to make this play strike. Armstrong stickless at the moment. He's just going to head back to the bench. Grab another one as we go for an icing call. Can't exactly see where Ken Armstrong's stick is.
It's evaporated.
And now Lee Kemp's with that stick.
It's one of them magic ones, isn't it? Keeps changing players. Can we guess where it'll appear next?
So, face off in the Wild zone. Wild under pressure immediately. Briley and Henderson once more. Been a good little scrap all afternoon, that. Gapper twisting, turning, trying to create himself some space. Kerr shot in from the point. On Tonar. Tonar takes the shot. Henderson keeps it back to Kerr. Britton gets his stick on that, tries to clear it out. It's run into the slot. Another swing and a shot in from Henderson there. Armstrong uses the boards, tries to create some space, end up finding Gapper of the Sharks. Gapper gets round one man, gets round second, takes it into the corner, drops that back, and there's going to be a call there. And that's a hooking call. Well, that's assessed to Nathan Britton of the Wild. And with 5:35 remaining in the period, the Wild again are going on a penalty kill.
I must say, Ben, Solway seems to have got rid of the bus legs and stepped it up a level here. They're trying to edge ahead if they can. All things tied up at 3 apiece.
So face off right-hand side of Walker. Puck now in the Wild zone. Shot comes in off the leg pads. Another shot come in, and you can see Bowie skating in for the redirect there.
Oh, that was a sitter waiting for somebody to tap that in.
Once more. The Sharks start to work that puck round. Another shot comes in. And Walker's seen a lot more rubber than Hepburn this period.
Yeah.
Henderson's going to scoop that up in no man's land. Puts it off the half boards, chase round. Wilcox gets there first. Turns it back for Charnock, but it's intercepted. At the point now. Shot comes in, that's off Charnock. Kerr. Going to pick that up. As they're looking now to find some space. Gapper. What will he do here? Feeds it back to Bowie once more. Wild react to the play quickly. Volkanovs gets it away. Volkanov sends the burners on. Vlad Volkanov skates down. Volkanovs! Oh! Well, what a save, Hepburn. Well, Hepburn wasn't fully on the puck. Volkanov saw the opportunity to try and put it in.
Apparently he was sitting just aside of him.
Well, either way, the goal has not been given.
Yeah, probably because the whistle had already been blown. So play's dead officially.
Well, that'll have riled up the Solway players a little bit, I tell you that now, Gary.
Well, let's hope it's woken up the Wild players a little bit. As we know, Volkanovs can out-sprint somebody.
58 seconds remaining on the power play now before Britain returns. And this time the Wild with the advantage down in the Solway zone. They're going to want to chew some of this clock up. And here come the Sharks. Near side with Houston. And you can see the difference having that one man off the ice makes. The amount of space it opens up. Houston picks up inside the dot. Goes to shoot and it's come off. Wilcox out the zone. And that's 20 seconds chewed up already. Bentham puts the puck into the opposite corner. Stubley gets his stick all over that, does the right thing, clears that down onto net. And they're just chewing up more of that clock.
Yeah, we're just coming up to 10 seconds remaining on the penalty.
Leaves it for Bentham. Bentham, head up, tries to find a man on the near side, doesn't for me, Houston. Drops it back, nobody there. Picked up by Hagger. Hagger's all by himself, back to full strength. Hagger now got Britain as he skates into the corner immediately. Try and give Rich that option. And now Wild trying to pin the puck down in the Solway zone. Briley finds the man in the form of Charnock wide open on the far side. 3:15 now remains in the second period. Still Wild 3, Sharks 3.
Well, the pace has been end to end and high tense, and you've got to wonder, Ben, how long can they keep this up?
Bentham under pressure from Charnock, gets the puck away. Hagger looks to step in and help out Riley. Kemp now seems to have been reacquainted with his own equipment. Charnock turns up ice. Gains his own. Charnock with Hyde. Hyde, little bit of space around him. Dan Hyde takes a shot. Goes to go glove side high.
Oh.
Well, somebody lost their edge there. It's allowed in Kerr, who's taken out the play by Wilcox. And what are they giving that there? Are they getting him boarded on Wilcox?
Quite possibly.
I mean, Wilcox was stuck with him. He rode the check into the board. Just finished his check, in my opinion. 2:21 remains. And it doesn't look like they're going to give anything.
Oh, he's being warned.
So, just a ticking off. 2:21. Puck drops back under action immediately. Shot comes from Tonard. And what reactions there from Walker to scoop that one out of the air.
Mr. Williams isn't going to be taking any of it.
Well, no. Line change denied. Robinson and Henderson. Out in front, scraping away, and here comes Volkanovs again. Vlad Volkanov, space in front of him, support by Wyatt. Volkanov takes a shot, it's gone off.
Side netting.
And that's up and out of play.
Well, Solway struggling to contain Volkanovs.
It's a lot of teams struggle to really contain Volkanovs because once he goes, he goes. The lad's got rockets for feet.
Do you know what? For a minute there, I thought there was a different player, but either way.
2:04 on the clock.
The speed of the counter-attack is what Wild are hoping to capitalise on here. But it's winning that mid-ice battle, Ben. You've got to do that.
It is notable that, you know, the likes of your Hadjeks, your Gilberts, they are seriously missing. However, saying that, Wild now in possession with Stubley.
I know what you're going to say 3 apiece, but what would it be like if they were playing?
Exactly. I think it'd make for a more interesting game.
Certainly.
Not that this, I don't really know if this can get any more interesting as Gapper waved the wand and tried to go blocker side high on Walker. Under pressure, Tonar. Still Struan Tonar. All the time in the world to find Kerr. Find a man skating in was Beattie. And Gapper was that with the pass there. And we're into the final minute now. Which team wants this more? And can they get a late sucker punch? Under pressure from Hager. Forced back the Sharks. Charnock gets a stick in the way. Charnock and Hager. Tonar. They've managed to scrape a pass forward in the foot to Gapper. What a shot! Will Gapper let that one absolutely rip?
Yeah, again, you can see he's disappointed there with himself as Walker coughed it up very briefly, but managed to recover it.
And I must say, Peter Gapper has got a hell of a wrist shot on him. Every time something comes off his tape, it's got venom on it.
And hence why Walker struggled to keep hold of that.
36 seconds left. Bentham at the point. Decides he's going to try and push that all the way over. Hyde puts his body on the line there, throws himself at the puck. Picked up by Murray now behind the Wild net. Wilcox has space. Finds Hyde. Absolutely beautiful pass. Dan Hyde skates it in. Puts it on net. Robinson looking for the rebound. And it's scooped up by the Sharks. Turn back the other way. Briley's under pressure from Houston. That's going to be an icing call with 7.8 seconds remaining in the second period.
Well, it's interesting finale to this second period. Can the Wild get a point from the face-off and go into the locker room in the lead?
Left-hand side of Hepburn.
Oh, right across the face of goal.
So close as the time's going to tick away there. And what a period that was. It started off slow. Each team moved through the gears. And again, we end on top gear.
Well, a 4-goal period sees both teams scoring a brace. It's all tied here, 3 apiece as we go into the locker room. Join us after this short break.
Brakes and Sons sponsor Drop the Puck.
Well, both teams back out on the ice to start this third period. And we are now where we were 40 minutes ago, Gary.
What, in our seats?
That's the one. And a little bit colder, but a little bit more enjoying the hockey.
Well, I tell you
Neither
what,
team taking advantage at the moment.
it was certainly getting hot in here, and I can see, I'm going to say it now, Ben, I can see dropping of gloves, I can see the swinging of arms.
Little overtime hockey, maybe?
Maybe. Oh, yeah, never thought of that. So as it stands here at Plant Ice Widnes, it's 3 apiece as we get ready to drop the puck for this third and final period.
Mr. Williams drops the puck and away we go. Immediately in possession is Solway with Kerr. Feeds that around. Gapper looking for the quick pass. Manages to find it to Henderson, who puts that towards the Wild net. Scooped up by Wilcox. Turns it up ice. Trying to find the stretch pass to Britton. Cut back out. Picked up by Barlow. Barlow and Britton. Great drop pass to Charnock. Charnock ties up in the corner. Hyde brought that puck out. Barlow's going to get over there. Wilcox once more in possession for Widnes. Under the threat of Henderson. Barlow decides to dump and chase that in. Can he get round Kerr? He's managed to get the puck back. Kerr does well to defend that on the boards though. Charnock's picked it up. Takes it around the half boards, looks to cut in sharply. Solway have done enough to clear that out. Murray's going to be pursued down by Gapper.
Well, it's clear Widnes didn't take the opportunity in that period break to go to sleep. They come out just as they left the end of that second period.
And Solway now behind their own net looking to break out. But Volkanovs and Hager doing well to turn that puck around. Dumped in by Hager as Bentham's going to see that around. Is it going to be picked up by Robinson? No, it's reached Murray. Murray now looks to turn up ice with that one. Tries to find Houston. Instead puts it in front of Bowie on the far right-hand side. Jackson's there, though. A little bit of pressure from Bowie. Gets a shot on. Walker's got that seal on the pipe there.
Bowie looking for his third there.
And here comes Hager for the Wild. He's got Robinson and Volkanovs. Decides to let one rip right into the glove of Hepburn with 18-14 remaining in the game.
Well, pretty much as you were from that second period, both teams desperately searching out for that goal to take the lead.
Interesting line. We've got Wyatt, Britton and Armstrong now for the Wild. Britton does well to try and get that into Armstrong. But it's turned around by Bentham, kept alive by Wyatt. Whoa. Gets a big body on the board there from Crane for his troubles. Sharks looking to break out the zone. Crane, little knock on there, get round Briley. Who's going to get there first? Tom Briley for the Wild. Holds it up against the board. Support comes in the form of Britton. And Wild looks to break down the ice once more. Armstrong puts it onto net. Solway recover with Hare. Looking to push that forward. Find Creek. Again into the corner, fighting away. Can they clear it out?
Oh,
shot comes in. It's on the stick of Britton, that was. It was Britton who took the full puck and then dropped the puck onto his stick.
He was in the right place at the right time there, I'd say.
Little line change there by Widnes as Hyde now gets control of that. Tries to push that forward for Charnock. Charnock, Hyde and Barlow's a good line we've seen tonight, be very productive for Widnes. But they're immediately turned back round and here comes Solway through the neutral zone one more time. Down the right wing, puts that straight through the danger zone. And there's not a stick there for a Solway player. Beattie does well to find Kerr. Decides to go back to Beattie, uses the space in front of him. Tries to play that forward for Henderson to skate onto. Gapper trying to fight off the boards with Henderson with it. Barlow's there and so is Jack Murray for the Wild. And the Wild managed to get that to Wilcox. Wilcox, lovely little knock on from Barlow there. Quick line change in for Widnes. Back onto the ice is the Robinson Volkanovs. Hager line. As Solway look to set up and try and get something going, but immediately turned around. Great pass to Hager. Hager lets another one rip off the leg pads of Hepburn. Robinson's put it back behind his net. And Hager there. Well, there's a stick that looks like it's gone into the face cage of Hepburn. Hager put the backhand puck in, and it looked like he was going towards the net. It come back out onto Robinson.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional by any means, but nevertheless, to the head, so they've taken a moment to give the netminder a chance to just recover from that.
But either way, we're going to end up with a face-off, and already, Gary, 4 minutes burnt through this final period.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, how quickly those 4 minutes have gone and the action's been end to end.
So face-off right-hand side of Hepburn in the Solway zone. And they've cleared that all the way around to Bowie. Bowie tries to skate forward and play that through, but it's immediately cut out by the Wild as he turns that back. Gets a body on for his troubles out in front of the Wild bench. Jackson gets his head up, tries to find Robinson, flicks it on. Hager's going to be in a foot race with Johnson, and they've called that offside.
Yeah, it was just too far ahead of Robinson to do anything. He let it go. Icing gets called.
15:33 remaining in this game now. Still anybody's game as we go for a face-off down into the Wild zone. Left-hand side of Walker. And it's come all the way through both sets of lines, all the way to the opposite wing. Volkanovs uses the plexi. Britton chases that down. Great little play there by Hare. Great read by Jackson, turns it back. Kerr finds Beattie once more. Can they get it round Stubley? No, they can't, is the answer to that one. Craig puts it forward once more to Hare. Hare picks it up, looks to go forward. Surrounded by yellow shirts, ends up dumping that in. Comfortably recovered by Stubley. And 5 minutes of this period gone already. Shot comes in. Walker denies. Wyatt's in there. They've managed to get it to Stubley. Stubley's got space in front of him a little bit there. He's closed the door. Shot in. Stubley gets a shot off the toe of the stick down the throat of Hepburn.
Yeah, he obviously fancies his chances there. A little bit of to and fro with the wand. Couldn't do anything. He thought he was going to lay it off, but he took the opportunity and had a go. But still, 14:47 remaining, still 3-3. Mr. Williams not liking the layout.
Face off, taken quickly. Johnson's going to use the momentum of the board to get that round to Bentham. Bentham tries to clear it. Great play by the Wild from Kemp to Hyde. Hyde pushes that forward to Charnock, who didn't realise the puck was coming to him. Has managed to recover it though. Charnock to Barlow. Barlow back to Hyde. Back to Barlow again. Looks to cut inside. And there's a potential tripping call now. The referee's wave it off. Briley tries to pinch in there, and it's created space around the back for Solway to get into. Barlow puts the body on Henderson. And it is stepping up through the gears, Gary, including the physicality.
Yeah, Wild desperately, even the crowd shouting for it, but Mr. Williams not giving anything.
So we're going to go back down to the Widnes zone. 14:05 remaining in this game. And we'll go for a face-off to the right-hand side of Harrison Walker. Looks like it's going to be Bowie and Barlow in for the face-off. And it was, and it's gone to the way of the Wild. Barlow. Well, what a great play there by the Solway player. I'll get the number on that shortly. But he absolutely cut the pass out there, and it's Kerr. Number 6, Kerr. Yeah. Lies down, shuts that pass lane right off. Kills the playoff between Barlow. Looking for the wraparound was Murray. Shot comes in again off the shoulder of Walker. Beattie decides to put it in from the point. Picked up by Murray, looks for the pass back quickly out for Houston. but it's grabbed by Volkanovs. And the puck's been cleared all the way down to the Solway zone. Beatty skates behind his own net, tries to create separation between himself and Volkanovs. Stretch pass pulled down onto the ice by Henderson. Out in front. And that's going to be frozen up there by Jackson. Well played, Tom Jackson there. Just pushed the Solway stick off and then taking the puck out the view of the officials, knew it'd blow dead.
Well, almost 7 minutes gone already and time's flying. Neither team managing to edge in front yet, but that's not for the sake of trying.
Henderson and Hager in for the dot. Goes away of the Sharks. Great shot in from Johnson. Wide open and clear lane of sight there for Walker though. And again trying to get that puck into the slot of the Solway Sharks. Wild going to pick that loose puck up there and try and bring it up ice, and they do so. Here comes Stubley. Stubley gains his own, takes the shots, come off the leg pads. Volkanovs was there looking for the rebound. Back up the other way with Henderson though. Shot from Tonner off the blocker.
Yeah, Solway fancying those power shots there, aren't they?
And Kemp and Tonner just interlocked sticks there as he skated past the camera.
Well, that's one battle I wouldn't want to see. Battle of the heavyweights.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, that one. Although if I had to call a main card, if you'd say, I'd probably say Kemp and Bentham.
That would be a good one.
But either way, that's doesn't look like it's going to happen at the moment as plays back underway once more with Craig into the corner for the Sharks. 12-14 remaining. Brierley does well to get in there. Armstrong's over there as well now for the Wild. Trying to push that puck out of the zone. Puck put on net and frozen up there by Walker. Just allows everyone to take a breath and reset.
Yeah, getting a little bit scrappy again, Ben, as people desperately trying to get the puck and race away, but I think it's going to be a mistake by somebody that's going to clinch this.
Face off left-hand side of Walker. Picked up by the Wild and forced through as Hyde puts his head down, charges through the zone to try and clear that out. Wilcox puts the body on there, creates separation, shot comes in from Craig. Comes off the blocker of Walker high, trying to find the pass to Hyde, this near side. Beatty's going to get there first though. Cushions that in and just dispossesses. Hyde's got it back. That's come off the face cage of Hepburn there. Play continues though. Once more, put forward, Barlow. Lets it go for Hyde. He's got skating in there is Charnock. Couldn't get the stick down. Great defensive play by Beatty just to disrupt Charnock on that one. And that's an icing call as almost halfway through this third and final period. 11-13 remain.
It's hard to believe that we've almost gone through halfway through this period. Nobody scored, and it's been non-stop, Ben.
Now it's interesting. Volkanovs, Hager, Robinson is the line.
There.
Stubley notices he's got the puck last second, manages to get that away. Can he feed Volkanovs? Yes, he can. He dumps that in, going to be chased down by Robinson. Kerr is there for the Sharks. Great little defensive play, creates the opportunity for the Sharks to break out, and they do so. Hager pursues Murray down that right-hand side. And Jackson does well to see off the initial threat there. Houston finds Bowie, puts that back in. Still Houston, great poke check there last second from Stubley. Big hit into the boards. Puck round the other way, Murray picks it up, puts it back on net. Sorry, Bentham. And then Murray's there to scoop it up. Hager tries to find Volkanovs away. And great play there by Johnson, absolutely denies Volkanovs on a breakaway. Tries to squeeze it around, put it in. And there's all sorts going on. Hager now lost his stick, just puts the body on.
Oh my goodness.
Harrison Walker, head on a swivel at the moment to the puck in the danger zone for the Sharks.
Yeah, no one seems to know where it is.
9:53 remaining in this period. Out in front, it's come off a player deflection. And I don't think Walker actually had eyes on that there then. That was a dangerous one. Solway committing players though. Robinson puts a player down. Bentham takes it in. Still Bentham. And it avails to nothing in the end, into the corner.
Well, they've got to be careful, Solway. They commit too many players.
And shot come in there, skating onto it, like.
And this is this is what I meant.
And there's Hyde. Gets round one, can't get round the other, and they've done enough to disrupt that. That was Bentham who initially tried to get the stick in the way. Shot comes in again, Walker sees it away. Charnock has got space in front of him. Gets round one, gets round two, still Liam Charnock. Charnock goes backhand, sails wide. Blocker side of Hepburn's post.
2-on-1. Oh.
2-on-2 is arriving there.
Oh, how did he not get that?
And Henderson makes the pass. Solway couldn't finish. It's very scrappy, it's very dangerous. There's no defence at the moment, Gary. It's literally end to end. And as I say, that Chris Wilcox just slams the door shut on any momentum.
Well, with 8:33 and counting down remaining in this period.
And the puck is going to have gone out of play there. That's what they call it.
And you've got to say both teams fancy their chances here.
Well, I don't know what to say, Gary. It literally is. You can see both teams throwing everything at it. As Armstrong just
decides to do off his pants.
8:28. I'm going to go for a centralised face-off. Britain wins that for the Wild. Stubley immediately puts it onto the net into the corner. Bentham clears it out once more. Briley over to Stubley. Put forward. Wyatt unfortunately catches up in the skate of Mr. Williams, but Britain's managed to recover it. Puts a shot on. Runs wide again. And they've blown that whistle.
Yeah, they thought, I think, did they think that it was caught then?
Yeah, possibly, but either way, it's brought about the end of that play. 8:08 remain in the game. And that's going to bring a line change as well. As a crucial time, a face-off in the Solway zone. We'll see the return of that Volkanovs, Hager, Robinson line. Once more, Robinson sets up in that quarterback position behind Hager. Volkanovs to his left, but immediately it's gone right. Hager recovers, takes a shot. What a seal on the post Hepburn has got there.
Yeah,
good effort by Hager.
Hager seen a keyhole of a slot for him to put that puck in. It's sealed up by Hepburn.
Shot in from Volkanovs, second bite of the cherry, and it's in! Volkanovs has got it under the leg pads of Hepburn on second attempt.
Yeah, it's fed in by Volkanovs. He sees it, picks up the rebound, and manages to squeeze it just to the left of Hepburn, who's already crouched down. And it gives Widnes the lead here now. It's Widnes Wild 4, Solway Sharks 3.
Well, we're back underway once more. And can Solway do anything to get back in this game as Volkanovs in possession once more? Volkanovs dumps it off for Robinson. Robinson, key poke check there by Solway. He's managed to get it round, skating in.
Oh.
Well, that was Wilcox, saw the opportunity.
But to dive.
Bowie takes it over. Shoot. Oh, he did.
And this is where it's going to get a bit crazy now by the look of it.
Another shot in from Murray. Trying to catch Walker going post to post. The Wild have done the job and have managed to turn that round. Volkanovs tried to put that forward for Charnock. Hepburn. Oh, there's an offside there from Barlow, unfortunately for him. Charnock was still deep in the zone.
Well.
And what an attempt that'd have been. But 7:07 remain in this game. It's now Wild 4, Solway 3.
7 minutes is still a lot of time, Ben, but as we've already seen, they've eaten up most of this period, just going backwards and forward.
As we redo that face-off.
So this is where Solway could open themselves up, trying to get a claw back into this and leave themselves open against a very fast Widnes front line.
Well shot on from Hyde there. And Hepburn comfortably gloves that down for Bentham as they look to try and get it all going again. Far side now with Henderson. Stubley and Braley trying to push that puck forward. Well, skating in there.
Oh!
Solway cut right through the paint and tried to backhand there. Bentham now drawing Hyde forward. Finds Gapper. Gapper pushes that forward for Tonar. Tonar, head down, skates through, tries to get in his own. Great poke check there by Stubley. Turns the puck around once more. Widnes crowd finally waking up. Gapper goes to go through. Walker gets his leg in the way just last second. Back out to Henderson, takes a shot, puts it high and into the net, into the ring. Brings about an end to that play with 6:06 now remaining on the clock.
Well, be interesting to see if Widnes can hold on to this slender lead as Solway are starting to bombard that Widnes net.
Bowie and Britton in for the draw. Widnes chasing that loose puck now. Armstrong gets over there. And that's, well, that was a tight one between Armstrong and Wyatt. Very tight.
The VAR called in there. There was a whisker in it.
Yeah, a little bit of stick tape. Just did not. 5:57 as we go for a neutralised face-off.
Time's ticking down.
Britton comes out with the puck for the Wild, tries to get round his first man. Can't beat Beattie though. Beattie lays that puck off and here comes Houston for the Sharks. Looks to find Bowie. Bowie and Houston, a formidable combo all day that have caused no end of trouble for the Wild. Wyatt does well to dig away and fight that one. Can he get it out to his support? No, scooped up by Beattie once more. Push forward, Bowie in possession, finds Houston. Houston down the right hand side, takes it slow, gets a body for his trouble. Murray for the Wild. Round the boards, finds Wyatt. And you can see that Armstrong tried to knock that on, he went behind him. Houston winds up, takes a shot, all of Venom taken out in front once more. And jumping all over that is Walker to freeze that one up. 5:15 remaining.
Yeah, Widnes needs to play clever hockey here now in this remaining 5 minutes. What they don't want to be doing is conceding any penalties.
Dare I say, park the bus?
I don't know about that. But what they have got is, with Houston, they do have a problem. He's causing all sorts of havoc for them there.
Talking about Houston problems, there come the Rockets again, and Vlad Volkanov takes a shot.
Oh!
And they collided there with the net. It was Volkanovs and Johnson.
Yeah,
Volkanov's got the shot off into the chest of Hepburn, but he's brought down there by
well, he seems to
Johnson.
collide with Johnson, yeah. Definitely knocked the post off its moorings. Be interested to see what the official decides here. I think it's just going to be...
I'll tell you now though, Gary, if Widnes walk out of here today with the 2 points, that's going to send a message through the league.
Yeah, certainly is. But we've said it before, Ben, most teams that come here are going to find
Gapper,
them in
round
a battle.
Stubley, can't get round Briley. Walker gets involved in it. And oh, he's committed too much and left it wide open for Solway. Commentator's curse.
I was just about to say, Ben, Walker, terribly far out of his net. Left it wide open, like you say, and it was slotted home as easy as you like. And it's got Solway back into this. It's now Widnes Wild 4, Solway Sharks 4.
Well, 4:53 remaining. Overtime is a possibility. Who's going to throw everything at this one?
Well, my wife's going to throw me dinner at me, that's for sure.
Action back underway. Charnock finds Briley. Briley dumps that in. Hepburn out of his net. Chased down by Hyde and Beattie. Tries to get it around to Murray. Charnock steps up. Barlow just going to scoop that up. He's left it for Bowie though. Bowie skates in. Drop pass there. Briley was behind. Briley manages to push it forward. Gets back up though as Stubley couldn't quite make the pass all the way through. Hyde awaiting the puck on the near side boards and it never arrives. They've managed to get over there now and get it to him. And Briley under pressure, trying to find Barlow. Barlow, big kick pass over. And that's going to be an icing call as Charnock was never going to get there. 4:17 remaining in this game.
Well, with scores all level and so little time left, Ben, I can see another mistake happening because it's end-to-end all the time. But who's going to be the winners of this?
Still very, very tight game to call as Solway pick up the face-off there. Walker has to get his stick in that one, turn it around into the corner. Here come the Wild again. Hyde looks to get forward to Barlow. Barlow tries to find Charnock. Miscommunication between the stride of Charnock and Barlow. As they tie up behind the Solway net. It's Bentham and Barlow there. Henderson's in there as well. As he comes out with the puck, Henderson skates it through neutral zone. Decides to take the shot. Walker spills that up. Have they got Harrison Walker rattled? He's not really freezing up as much as he was earlier. Or catching him out in front once more. Tonor. Well, he plays out very well. He looked like he was going to go for the shot and let it run. Big stretch pass has found Hyde. Hyde over now for the Wild. Quick line change by Widnes.
Oh!
Tried to come back across for Hagger. Robinson's there. Trying to find Gapper. Great play by the defensive unit of the Wild. Here comes Hagger though. Taking the game by the reins. Rich Hagger for the Wild. Goes all the way around the long way. Decides to dump it back. Volkanovs. 3 black shirts around him on the boards there. But he's come out with the puck somehow. Fallen to Hagger. Hagger, will he take a shot? Does! Off the leg pads of Hepburn. It's come out. Houston's going to pick that puck up. Look for the big clearance pass. And that's going to be an icing call there. Stubley touches that up.
Well,
2:44 remain in this period now, Gary.
good save by Hepburn. Keeps Solway in this one. And certainly as...
Timeout's been called.
Well, time is ticking down.
And that's a timeout by Solway Sharks.
Yes, time is ticking down. And you begin to wonder whether we're going to be looking at overtime. It's beckoning.
Well, both managers with the play boards out.
I must say those novelty earmuffs that young lady's donning it. Oh. Right, it's actually cups, never mind.
Well, the battle plans have been drawn. The riot acts have been read. Can they put it into fruition?
Well, it's down at the Solway end, so it's slight advantage Widnes as it goes into the final 2
Bentham there shouting the orders to everybody. What we got there? We've got Barlow, we've got Hyde, we've got Charnock for the Wild, we've got Tonor, Bentham, Crane, Kerr for the Sharks. As they manage to clear that all the way down, Briley and Stubley gonna get the icing call there as we go back up towards the Solway zone.
Well, dare I say Mr. Williams has been fair but firm in this game, as have the rest of his crew. But it looks like we could, unless somebody can pinch something in these final 2 minutes.
Face off, right hand side of Hepburn, that's going to immediately be called back.
There you go. We could be looking at overtime, Ben, the way we're going.
Dare we say our production crew won't want that. Shot comes in early from Briley. Can they keep the play alive? No, it's going to be picked up there by Houston. Houston's a 2-on-1 situation. Houston looks to get across. Saved by Walker. denies, back up the other way. It's counter-attack hockey with Hyde. Hyde, Barlow, everyone comes swarming back. Stubley gets in front of Hepburn, trying to screen the vision. Does so, and Houston just back into the cul-de-sac there, creates a little bit of space. Open the ice up as we enter the final 2 minutes of the period. Stubley, big stretch past the centre ice to Hyde. Hyde gets his eyes up, finds Hagger. Hagger has got support, takes a shot himself. Well, Charnock's on there now. It's Volkanovs, Hagger and Charnock. What an interesting setup that is.
Yeah, and it's now, it looks like Widnes is starting to put pressure on the Solway net.
Hagger, Volkanovs and Britton. They're throwing everything at it, Widnes. Volkanovs looks for the wraparound. He's got it! That's Volkanovs with the wraparound.
Well, what a play by Volkanovs. Solo takes it round the back of the net, looks for the gap, continues and slots it with the wraparound. And it's now Widnes Wild 5, Solway Sharks 4. 1 minute 31 remaining in this third and final period. Ben.
Vlad the Impaler strikes again.
But he left Hepburn stranded as he looked like he was going to go for that near post shot, but decided to fake it, spin it round
Hepburn
the
there
back.
just deliberately, he's taking a bit longer to get back in his net.
Yeah, he's not happy.
He's trying to take the flow out with 1:30. You've got to say the Solway going to pull the netminder here, surely.
Most certainly.
Well, we'll keep one eye on Hepburn there in case he gets to make a dart, but immediately puck's put on the net. And here comes Solway as they skate forward with Henderson. Johnson into the corner. Can they do anything with this? One eye on Hepburn, one eye on the puck. Shot comes in and again, oh, it's in! Well, the initial shot came in, the rebound came out. I couldn't quite see who was on the end of the rebound. Looks like Henderson.
Yeah,
And
Henderson
it is.
picks up the rebound, slots it home, and it's tied things up again here with 1 minute 3 remaining in this third period. It's Widnes Wild 5, Solway Sharks 5.
Anything you can score, I can score better. That's how it's feeling, Gary, at the
It
moment.
certainly is. So,
Well,
It's
10-goal game here. It's an absolute barnstormer tonight.
it's as you were. And again,
Do you know what, Gary? I think I called this. I said it would be a tasty one. I said I'd had it ringed in my diary.
yeah,
Nil calendar.
big pack of napkins in your pocket, I know.
As we're into the final minute now. Out
Oh!
in front. Desperate scramble save. Walker gets a glove on it. 46.4 seconds remain.
Well,
And
Widnes,
we could end up with some overtime hockey here.
Yeah.
It's looking very likely.
Widnes cannot go to sleep now. Got to keep their head on a swivel.
At the same time, though, they've got to take some of that pressure off Vlad Volkanovs. He's everywhere today, causing all sorts of problems for Solway. As Hagger's managed to get his stick on that, chase down Bentham off the half boards in front of the timekeeper's bench. Wilcox. He's that go for Robinson. Robinson finds Hagger on a big stretch pass. He's got Bentham pursuing him. Great play by Bentham, denies the pass. Hagger once more. Volkanovs just turns.
Wow.
Is brought down. Murray puts that round the other way, trying to find. That looked like Houston. It's come off the boards in front of the player benches. Into the final 10 seconds now. Hagger and Bentham.
7, 6, 5,
This is going down to the
4,
wire.
3,
Bowie's going to skate in.
2,
Will he wind up and have a shot?
1.
And there's the buzzer. We're going to overtime hockey.
Well, this
This is going to be interesting.
This has been end-to-end stuff, this, Ben. And do you know what? For the fans, it's been a brilliant spectacle of ice hockey. But this is where it counts now.
Now, if I remember rightly, Gary, the overtime rule states it's a 3-on-3 hockey game, bit of pond hockey. So I'm going to throw it over to you. If you were the captain or the coach of either team now, who are you putting out?
Well, without a doubt, I would be putting out the likes of... I'd put Charnock, Hager and Volkanov's out.
For the Wild, okay, that's a good shout. And what about for Solway?
I would certainly probably have Bentham in there.
Yeah.
Probably Houston.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm Henderson or
Bowie.
Yeah, Bowie's been. I mean, he's on for his hat trick.
You know what? I can't agree with you more on that one. I think that. Do you know what?
And for the officials, I'd probably go Williams.
Hesselwood. And Bentham.
Do you know what? That's a good choice.
Yeah, that's a very good choice there, sir. Suit you, sir. Right, okay, so let's see.
When are the refs going to drop gloves? Do you know what?
It'll never happen.
Oh, will it? No.
Right, okay, so let's have a look. Are they going to go defensive or offensive? It already looks like we have our choice. Houston, Bentham and Henderson look like the three for the Sharks as they're this side of the boards.
So we were right there.
Okay, and we've got Volkanovs, we've got Stubley, and we've got Briley.
Wow. Well, that's a surprise, but
it's very... No, we know that Briley and Stubley can play both ways. So this is interesting. We've got two-way forwards and an offensive player versus...
Dare I say it, Ben? I think Solway would have preferred the overtime.
Well, 5 minutes shows on the clock. That is all this is.
So 5 more minutes of ice hockey here at Planetized Widnes as the Wild face against the Sharks for this overtime battle. 5 apiece. Who's going to take it?
And we're away for overtime hockey. Bentham immediately back behind his own net. Very reminiscent for all those that play the old NHL on the consoles of the EA3s.
I hope they're listening. We don't mind being sponsored by EA.
As Bentham finds Houston. Tries to let that go for Henderson. Does so. Scooped up. Briley. Houston takes a shot once more.
And this is the thing, you've got to be careful with that loose change now.
Houston takes a shot over the net.
And Brealey's got
no stick at the moment. Shot on again.
He's just putting his body on the line here.
And they're being very clinical now. Bentham looks to take the shot. Walker jumps on that, freezes that up. And that's the first shift out the way. Let's see the second lines on the ice. We've got Wilcox. We've got Charnock. And we've got... Is that Barlow? It is
Barlow, yeah.
And we've got Gapper, Bowie and Kerr. Ooh. Well, two really well-matched lines here, in my opinion. Puck drop somewhere. Back for round 2 of this. 3-on-3 overtime hockey. Bowie sees an opening. No, doesn't like that. Turns back. Lets that go. Once more, Barlow drops that. Charnock just stays with his man. Gapper takes a shot. Deflected out. Barlow tries to find Charnock. Wilcox takes a shot. He's bought it off the post. Barlow second base of the cherry.
Well, how there wasn't a penalty there for tripping.
And Wilcox, he switched man quickly. We've got a quick line change. We've now got Hager. Henderson. The shot runs wide.
Stubley's out there.
Stubley, Britton and Hager. Year 3 for the Wild. Hager trying to find Britton on the break. Houston. Henderson. And is that Johnson now? Yep. That's your 3 for Solway. Solway looking to bring it through neutral ice. Already 3 minutes of this. 2 minutes of this overtime gone as we're on 2:42 remain in this overtime period. Quick line changes all round again. Onto the ice comes Wilcox, Briley.
And Bentham, is it? No,
Volkanovs.
Tonner.
Henderson, Tonner and Johnson. Well, Gary, again, another really well matched up.
And Vlad's is out there, so for the Wild.
Good face-off win there by the Solway Sharks with Henderson. Under pressure from Volkanovs. Twists and turns, tries to create space. Tonar just allows the screen in there. Shot comes in, goes high into the roof of the rink from Henderson. 2:30 remains on the overtime. As Johnson skates off, so does Henderson. So Tonar now accompanied by Bentham. And is that Gapper?
No, not is it? Oh, could be, yeah.
No, I think that's Hare, actually. Volkanovs again trying to get in on that man, and it is Gapper. So that's quite a strong line there. Bentham, Tonar, Gapper. Can they do anything with this? Skate in. Bentham looks to skate it in, straight into the glove. And Bentham, he knows he's just been done there by Harrison Walker. Looks to the skies. Chewed up a little bit more time on that clock.
2 minutes 14 remaining in this fourth over, and it's overtime period.
So we must remind our viewers what happens if this remains goalless at the end of this overtime period. We will go to a shootout. Stubley creates space for himself. Plenty of space to get those legs going. Gains through the zone. He's got Charnock in support. Stubley takes a shot right down the throat, and Stubley and Bentham.
Bentham again looking to
get under the skin.
Get under the skin of a Wild player. We know he likes to press that red button.
And that's burnt up a little bit more of the time as we're on 2:01.
Face off to the left of Hepburn.
Barlow in with Charnock and Stubley. And it's been given away very quickly to the Solway Sharks, who Houston slams on. Passes that over. And the amount of space on the ice now, any mistake is costly.
Like that.
Stubley tried to create the pass, ended up coming off the blade of Henderson. Wild now on the defence. Solway just circling the puck around. 1:30 now remains on the period. Kerr decides, oh! Well, Henderson had it on a platter.
Yeah, back door was wide open there.
Walker again.
Oh,
Trying to clear that away. Is that Charnock? It is. Chasing that down. Charnock and Kerr tie up. Wilcox picks a puck up. Wilcox shoots, tries to go high, block aside. And it goes high and hits the plexi. It's going to be a line change there. Into the last minute of overtime. Hager in a battle now with that one.
yeah, tries to steal the puck there.
And this is it. Both teams throwing everything at it. Volkanovs out on the ice now. Here comes Volkanovs down the side. Find Hager wide open. Rich Hager. Game on his stick. Right on the back.
Come on. Door was shut.
Bentham back the other way. What can Wilcox do?
Oh,
Well, he rides Bentham into the net.
Yeah,
and
Tonar.
Walker.
Tonar crashes into the net. Gives
Bentham.
Walker a little pass.
Is it? Or is it Tonar?
Tonar,
It is
yeah.
Tonar, yeah. Apologies. Well, 28.2 seconds left.
And I tell you what, Ben, that 0.2 of a second could be vital to one of these teams.
What a game this has been today.
Oh,
Bowie wins out a little bit too much on it, forces it back. Johnson's forced to retreat, looks to feed Bowie quickly. Bowie finds Tonar. Back to Bowie, Bowie and Johnson again. Johnson looks to wind up. Well, there was a stick in the way there by a Wild player, and it's taken all of that out of it and put it into the stands, essentially.
well, these fans have been given a great night of entertainment here at Planet Ice Widnes. These teams have really battled it out.
The best thing is, Gary, we get to cover this again on the 12th of December when the two teams re-meet for the Moralee North Midlands Cup semi-final, I think it is.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to that.
Volkanovs nicks it past Henderson. Henderson going to be there. And this is going to a shootout. Woo! Hell, graphics guy's kicking himself right now.
So, we go to a penalty shootout. Well, not a penalty shootout, but a
It
shootout.
it's a shootout.
Either way, this is probably the most exciting bit of it because it's one-on-one,
Yep.
and this is where the wits and the skills of the player are pitched against.
So we'd like to think that our viewers here have a little bit of knowledge about ice hockey, but for those that are watching this for the first time, let me explain how a shootout works for you.
Go on then.
So you have an attacking player who will pick the puck up at the centre ice. He will skate forward. The minute he begins any forward momentum, he's starting his shot.
Okay.
The minute he decides to go backwards, his shot is null and void. So the idea is they will skate it forward directly at the netminder and try and throw a move to put the netminder off and put the puck away.
It's all about skill and
mentality. It's a game of getting in each other's heads.
Yeah, it's a mental game. But the keepers have to be very, very... They've got to have the head on a swivel here.
Do you know what? I don't even know what to call for this one.
Who's the boldest here?
It's very hard to say. You've got some big players that could make or break this. But Wild, normally in this situation, the Wild would look down at one very famous player, but he's not here anymore, unfortunately. That is the mate that is Sean Dipnell.
I know, yeah. I was thinking about that before. I thought, where's Dippy when you want him?
Blackburn last time I heard.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But it's going to be interesting.
So Jackson and Tonar discussing with Mr. Williams who is going to do who's going to go first, and it looks like
it's going to be Charnock's first. So we got Charnock and Tonar are both going to take their shots first, but it's Widnes to go first, and this will be a silent in here now. Here we go, Liam Charnock begins his approach. Charnock picks the puck up. Hepburn comes out, Charnock still Charnock. Great attempt, he looked to go backhand forehand on him, and Hepburn had the read of him. And not an easy thing
so
when you're one-on-one.
Is going first for Solway.
Okay, Peter Gapper. Can Walker stand up to this test?
Well, he's done well up to now, but this is a lot to ask. He's obviously a smaller frame than
Gapper.
Hepburn.
Decides to take it wide, comes forward.
And
puts it away. Drew Walker to his near side post, put the puck on his toe, and used the advantage to get into that extra space.
So it's 1-0 in favour of Sharks at the moment.
Next will be Stubley for the Wild. Whistle blows and Stubley begins his advance. Picks that puck up. Stubley. Oh, and he's put it wide. Went backhand forehand again. And right now, the ice tilting in the way of the Solway Sharks. So next up will be Henderson. Henderson starts his penalty shot.
Oh, it's in.
And goes absolutely right through lower glove side of Walker. And that's it now. It's all over. And with that, the Sharks take the points.
Well, they fancied the chances in the shootout, but I'm sure they didn't plan on going as far as this. And it's Solway that take the win this evening in overtime on a shootout and keeps them at the top of the table. Well, nevertheless,
what a battle it's been. The final score...
Widnes gave a good account of themselves.
Yeah, the final score shows a 6-5 to Solway. But what an absolute game. And both netminders had an absolutely outstanding game. You know, you couldn't take much from Hepburn or from Walker. Kept both teams in it right to the end.
Well, we're gonna go down to the dressing room now, and we're gonna grab a couple of players, have a quick chat with them. But before we do that, you can join us after this quick short break.
Brakes and Sons sponsor Drop the Puck.
And with assistant coach of the Solway Sharks, Jamie Thompson. Jamie, what a hell of a game of hockey that was.
I think it was a great game for the fans. Not too sure about the coaching staff on both teams would be happy to go through that again. I'm certainly not. But look, we knew coming into this building, we've not been here before. We didn't know what to expect. We knew they'd put a good team together, and we knew it was going to be difficult, right? And I think we started pretty well, and full credit to Widnes. I think, they come out with, a point to prove. It's in their own building, and they did it really well. So, I'm over the moon to get the win and get out of here, to be honest. I think the Widnes players and fans should be really happy with their team.
Well, it certainly looked like a fight in the trenches from the commentary position. Certainly, there was a few key players there tonight for yourselves, mainly Louis Houston and Ian Bowie seemed to be all over the place tonight.
Both quality players. I mean, Ian Bowie's got years of experience, calm head, skillful. Houston's come back from Leeds. He's working a lot. He's tired, but his energy level, he never ever gives up. I thought both netminders did all right, considering it was a 5-5 game. But they were pretty solid.
I was going to say, you can't take anything away from Hepburn in net there. Had an absolute blinder tonight, and
there was a couple of them he had no right saving, to be honest.
Yeah, and when it came down to it on the line, obviously, steal the game for you guys.
Look, we've got a lot of experience at that 3-on-3. I think we played the overtime pretty well. When it comes to penalty shots, most of that team has been in that scenario quite a lot. That kind of maybe shone through at the end. Tonight we come in here without Liam Stenton, without Boydie, without Stephen Moore. Gap is really playing hurt. I mean, he got stuck in the face last night. He's got teeth coming out all over the place, and he played. And we knew right from the start it was going to be a battle. Look, I'm proud of our guys, but I've got actually a lot of admiration for what the Widnes team put together. It was a good game.
Now, surely then, knowing that attention's got to turn to this quarter-final, semi-final from the Cup that sees you here on the 12th of December again.
Well, look, we've got to take care of Blackburn at home first next week. Once we get that out of the way, we'll start looking at the semi-final. We never ever look ahead. We look at one game ahead. But obviously, we know we've got to come back in here. We'll be at full strength then. I'm sure the Wild will be. I can't see it being anything else than another good game.
Excellent. Well, we can't wait to see that one. Jamie, wish you the best for the rest of the season, and we'll see you again soon.
Cheers for your time. Thanks, mate.
And with Jay Robinson and Chris Wilcox of the Widnes Wild. Lads, disappointing defeat there. It was right on the grass, but surely you've got to be proud of the performance put out by the lads.
Oh, yeah, massively. I think, everyone's disappointed in the dressing room, and I love that. I think at the start of the game, if you'd known that we'd have been disappointed with coming away with 1 point, I think we'd have taken that all day long. They're a great outfit, and I think we left everything out there, and it was a very good game, I thought.
Now, we've already said it in the commentary, but there was a few notable absentees that left midweek, one of them being Kieran Beach as well. Beachy was known for playing on that line with yourself, Jay, and Rich as well. Vlad seemed to step up and fit that like the missing jigsaw piece tonight.
Yeah, he did really good. I mean, obviously for the games this season so far, Vlad has been playing with Richie and Kieran anyway, and I've just been trying to fit in somewhere else. But it's a good, Vlad is an amazing player, is Vlad, and obviously missing Kieran it's a big loss. But he had other commitments, so we just roll with what we've got really, and every person on that team tonight played absolutely amazing. You can't take anything away from any of them. They all played great, and we've just took the best team in the league to overtime. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. You've got to take that away. And I mean, Harrison as well had an outstanding game. But what more can you work on after this? I mean, you say you guys give everything.
I think there was a couple of times in our zone we kind of switched off a little bit and almost respected them a bit too much. In the first and second, when it worked for us, we were forcing them hard. And then I think when we got a little bit of a lead, we kind of sat back a little bit and let them come at us. And I think just, it's small things, again, little things that are in our control. And yeah, I think they'll be potentially feeling lucky that they came out of that with 2 points.
Well, we know you've obviously got a nice return leg with them in the Cup on the 12th. But between then, you've got the likes of, I think you've got Nottingham as well. You've got Sheffield again in this run up to the Christmas date now. It's certainly a packed house in regards to fixtures. But what's it going to be like for the team running in now? What preparation's going to need to be done?
It's just obviously we'll turn up to train every week, and we've got a really structured training session. We all know what we're doing. Every single player knows what the role is, and we're working on specific things, and we're starting to understand why we're working on these things and stuff. And like Chris has said, obviously that time in our defensive zone, we've already picked up on the things we was doing wrong. So them little things are just things every single week where breaking one of them down and getting better, and that's why we're pulling out more and more results as the season's going on.
And I'm sure that's great news for the Widnes fans. I want to hear that. You guys already know what's going wrong and you're already working on it. Guys, we wish you the best luck for the rest of the season. We'll catch you again soon.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, Ben. Are you all right after that one?
Yeah. What a game of hockey that was. Little early Christmas present, maybe.
Well, do you know what? For the viewers at home, what great entertainment that was. Can you imagine what it was like actually being in the rink?
Atmosphere was something else. It was awesome. You could feel how much each player was giving, the passion, the pride, the energy, and I literally think, as the lad said in the interviews there, they couldn't have given any more.
And I must admit, that long bus drive home that Solway got, I mean, the last thing they needed...
That's a party bus now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, apart from that, it's the last thing you would want, having to travel that far, is to go into overtime and then into a shootout. So, I mean, hats off to them. They've done well after playing last night as well. Widnes, commiserations, they tried their best, so close. But again, in that shootout, wasn't for them, was it?
No, and I think at this point, Harrison Walker had been tested every which way possible. And, you've got absolutely skilled players out there like Henderson, like Bowie, like Tonar, that always would have something up the sleeve. And I think that's what we saw. We saw them go to their very best top draw to pull out the best to have to beat Walker. But, fair play to them. And Hepburn on the other side, what a performance. The two netminders tonight, and as much as, I think it was Henderson got MVP, and I think it was possibly Wilcox. For me, it was the two netminders.
Well, I was going to say the one thing that Solway had over Widnes in that one was because the stature and size of Hepburn. When you were going one-on-one in that shootout, all he had to do was move out of his goal area, and straight away he was covering every angle on that goal. So it was going to be difficult anyway. Whereas Harrison, a lot smaller, and as he proved late on in that overtime period or I think it was in the third period, where he actually went out of net a little bit, left it wide open, so, and you can't afford to do that. But every day's a school day, isn't it? So, you learn these things as you play, and it's experience that you gain. But Harrison Walker's certainly making a name for himself in the Moralee division this year, and, I'm sure it won't be the last we see or hear of him doing stuff like that.
Oh, no, certainly not. And already, I mean, I know you'll have heard me say it in the interviews there, I'm circling my calendar for the 12th of December when we're back here at Planet Ice Widnes to see a replay of that match, because the Solway Sharks will be coming to town in the Moralee Cup as well. It's a semi-final game, so you feel it's got a bit more to it, a bit more weight.
Well, of course, you can catch that game in the future, obviously. This game and other games that we've previously had on Drop the Puck in our massive back catalogue on our YouTube channel. But you can catch us on all the media social sites. You can get us on Instagram, you can get us on Facebook, you can get us on Twitter, and of course, you're watching us now, you can get us on the YouTube channel. And of course, we've got our website as well, which is basntv.com. And don't forget, of course, check out our merchandise page
you
as
can
well.
get your
Yeah.
Drop the Puck hoodies and beanies coming into that cold weather.
Support us, yay!
But Gary, what a performance! To play 2 games like that back to back. Billingham don't roll over easily either. So that means Solway have given a fight there last night, then travelled all this way here today, been in an absolute dogfight with Widnes, and just about scraped away with a victory.
I just think you'll be hard pushed to get another match like that. But I mean, here on Drop the Puck, we're more than happy to film games like that, just to bring them to you, the viewers at home. It's been great here at Planside. It's been a long day, and I know it's cold outside. We're going to get going in a minute. I've been Gary Lee.
I've been Ben Lee.
And we've been Drop the Puck.